something went on here, something went on there.
This time on TNT,
it's the return of Slanguage.
we visit Little City with Jack and Diane.
Plus, Whitney Houston, we have a problem. That's all coming up right now on TNT.
Hi, I'm Jack.
And I'm Diane.
And guess where we are today?
Today we're in Brandon, Manitoba, at the Keystone Arena for the MMA Fights.
Are you ready to see some wrestling and fighting?
I sure am. Wouldn't mind seeing an arm bar or can opener.
Holy moly, well let's get right to it then, Diane.
On Little City with Jack and Diane.
And we're gonna get into the arena here, or look at the first fight that began. Oh, look, who's that, Diane?
I think that's Nee Henderson, isn't it? A guy who got a nickname for using his knees so much. So they call him Nee.
You're right, and I think he's fighting Dobro Peterson, and they call him Dobro because it sounds like you hear a guitar in your head when he punches you.
Do you?
Yes, apparently.
Now, kicking is one thing, punching is another.
I know.
But punching and kicking at the same time, can you imagine?
I know. And if you can see why does oh, here comes the Sultan. And he has the actual plastic, I believe it's a scimitar, is that what they call it? Taped to his trousers or the trunks?
I don't know that, Jack, but one thing I do know is that the Keystone Center is a multi-purpose facility here in Brandon. Its main arena seats 5,102 people. So safe to say, just at a glance, my guesstimate would be there are around 400 people here this afternoon.
Well, look at that, Diane. He's got him in a leg lock.
I would have called that a crucifix.
Look at that expression. Wow, is his leg gonna pop the other way or what?
Well, better his leg than his cauliflower ear. The last time I came to an MMA fight, I got covered in sebum.
Oh my God! They're taking him away.
Do you think he's covered in oil or is that sweat? Either way, it's erotic.
Okay, Diane, who's up next here? We have, I think it's Mambo Forte, his name is. Oh, look, he's dancing on his way into the ring. Look at that.
And that's Bitey McPherson. Believe it or not, that's not even a nickname. That's his Christian name.
Bitey?
Yeah.
Oh, here they go. Wow, Bitey's coming at him actually with his hands behind his back and chomping. You weren't kidding, he's trying to bite him.
That's a fish hook, an illegal act by a fighter hooking his or her finger into the opponent's mouth or ear and pulling down. So the referee will not allow that. Mr. Zebra says, not today, sir.
I'm pretty sure you can't bite a guy in the mixed martial arts.
Now, punching and kicking is one thing, but punching and kicking while you're getting punched and kicked, can you imagine?
Yeah, yes, he's disqualified. Bitey is out. So that's it for that.
The thing about MMA I've noticed, Jack, on this episode of Little City with Jack and Diane, is that it has traveled to the far corners of our country. A city like Brandon, home of the Bobcats, otherwise a peaceful destination, on this afternoon has just become a savage, erotic display.
I have to admit, I didn't know much about this sport, but I'm coming to like it. Oh, wow, he just, somebody threw a boot into the, it's not an octagon, it's more of a, what do you call that? What's got more sides? What's that?
I believe it's a tentagon.
No,
and the tent is over the top because of all the bodily fluids that get expelled during an MMA fight.
I think it's a dodecadon, actually, is what it is. Dodecadon?
Don't ask me, Jack.
Anyway, the boot came right over, and I believe it was a work boot. A grab steel toe, and he's still on the ground, Diane.
Bitey executes a guillotine choke. That's a choke from a position of facing the opponent in a headlock with hands clasped together.
Are you watching that match over there? I didn't realize that, Diane. I'm sorry, I was talking about this this ring over here?
Oh, sorry. I'm just reading MMA terms off the internet.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So we are talking about the man who's lying in the
Jack,
ring.
not to interrupt. Look at the Peruvian necktie, which is a fighting maneuver used when an opponent shoots in an opponent's legs for a single or double leg takedown.
Well, I don't know about that Napoleon necktie. I know about the Sicilian necktie. How about that? That's the crazy one they have up on Tor York there in Toronto.
It's quite something to see, isn't it? The thing I like about MMA is that everything is so wet. I mean, kicking and punching while standing up is one thing, but fighting someone while lying on your back with a man on top of you, can you imagine?
Well, that's all we have for this week, everybody. We're going to be somewhere next week.
On Little City with Jack and Diane.
Yep, you know how we do. And I'll get to, let's get out of the arena here in 1 second, and so everybody can hear the outro, okay? Thanks a lot, Thanks, Diane.
Thanks to you, Jack. We'll see you again.
About Jack and Diane, two American kids doing best they can.
By the way, Little City with Jack and Diane was your idea, and I love it. And that is one of the things that, if we get to make a TNT TV show, Little City with Jack and Diane is a totally legit TV sketch.
And I can't have, there's no chance I can have hair.
No.
No chance.
No, you have a fly rink.
I have a total fly rink.
Hey, I stopped in to see our bud Paul Brothers yesterday.
Oh, he's a bud.
At Global in Halifax. What a good dude.
Who was at the house party that we talk about in the book.
Yeah, he sure was.
Yeah.
And he dropped, I'm going to say at least 3 seeing snakes, told me to wear my Glad rags when I came because they were in ratings. Dropped a fly rink on me.
He dropped a fly rink.
All kinds of slanguage.
I love it. That's the best.
So Jeremy Taggart.
Yep.
It's baby, it's cold outside there in Upper Canada.
It sure is. It's minus 18 with the wind chilly. That's a little different from yesterday, which was like plus 10.
Is it really minus 18 with the wind chill?
It is, yeah. It's you'll freeze your sack right off. And it's snow. There was 3 inches of snow on the ground.
What a terrible turn of events.
So we wake up and the kids loved it. It was like Christmas. But then Rebel has no idea what snow is.
Oh, he's never seen snow.
And he's mostly Chihuahua. His head's Pomeranian, but his body's Chihuahua. So he's Mexican.
Yeah, right. He has no time for the snow.
No, but he goes out and he starts shaking like crazy, walk with the legs and trying to keep them up at the same time. But he still went around and stayed out there for about 5 minutes, and then he came bucking back in and jumped underneath the blanket.
Henry's hair was so bushy he couldn't see his eyes anymore, so we got his hair cut this week by a woman in the neighborhood who did a great job, but we've been calling him Glenda ever since because he kind of looks like a Glenda now.
Okay.
We got a sweater for him, but he's so small that he's shivering like crazy just at the lack of hair, not even being outside. Plus, There's no snow here yet.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
There.
But tonight's Shug's birthday party, and it was billed as an outdoor bonfire, and we knew the risk that we were embarking on by saying it was a bonfire. And I'm going to say it's 7 degrees and horizontal rain.
Ooh.
Probably not going to do the bonfire, but she invited her whole class.
Oh.
So there are going to be some folks flying around our house tonight.
So are you going to have like the barbecue ripped and going?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'll probably cook the hot dogs on the Kamado Joe.
Ooh, yeah.
Which is like the green egg.
Did enjoy those Mark Forward ribs.
I made the Mark Forward Coca-Cola ribs when you were in town.
They were great.
They're nice, aren't they?
They sure are. And it was Carol's dad took them, right?
Yep.
That was the move.
That was the move right there.
Yeah, good move. They were tasty.
So the kids are going to pound some hot dogs. We went down to the basement and pushed all of the furniture against the walls in all 4 corners.
Yeah.
So it's like just a legit rumpus room. And Carol found a strobe light / disco ball / I don't know, some other kind of ambulance looking light at the Source, 3-pack.
Nice.
3 banger of lights. And then at the Home Hardware last night, I found colored bulbs to put in our 3-banger lamp.
So it's over. You're going to have a party galore then tonight.
It's like, Mama say, Mama sa, Mama kusa, in our basement.
Are you going to get the jams pumping?
Oh, yeah. And we could even do the karaoke if the kids wanted to. But this is my feeling. Because I've been
How many times are you going to do Despacito?
Well, I've been to birthday parties where it's super, super organized and by the minute. Yeah. And I've been to parties where there was no real plan. And I think, in a way, there's probably a happy medium. Because I think mostly kids just like to run around and party.
That's right. They want to party. They want to run around, laugh, scream.
See each other outside school. There's no, like, sit down and be quiet stuff. Like, just go at it.
I've actually watched kids, like, more than, 5 or 6 in a playground. And some of them, they start screaming. They start screaming like crazy just for no reason. Like, they would never be able to do that when they're 20s. Imagine hanging out with your buddy and you're like, ah! Just for no reason.
Just for fun.
Just hanging out, jumping up and down and screaming.
Yeah.
It's just, like, they get so fired up. I love it.
I love it too. And, they don't get to with cutbacks in gym and cutbacks in music and cutbacks in drama and all those places that you used to be able to lance the boil of energy.
Yeah.
Now they're sitting still so much in the day. So I think we're just going to let them kind of party. Carol has lots of creative and great ideas and, it can be as structured as they want. But I think we're both kind of thinking we should just let them run free.
What do you got? So hot dogs, you're gonna throw some snackies down there. You're just gonna keep it party style.
Shug wanted a snack table, so
okay.
There's a snack table. There's also a punch. It's probably gonna be like Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
There's some balloons down there. There's a light party.
I like that.
There's loot bags and cake and all that. We might do some pin the tail on the donkey, that style.
Nice. That's great.
It's gonna be
Those
fun.
are good.
You guys had a birthday party recently.
Yeah, Jack's birthday's on Halloween.
What'd you do?
Well, we just got the place ripping with, we got a bunch of animatronics out front. And it was kind of a sweet and sour because the neighborhood, I don't know if it was because it was cold or what, but there was not that many houses that were doing it this year. So it was kind of like 1 every 7 houses, where last year it seemed like it was every house. So,
what do you mean animatronics?
You know those little things that move when you come near them, like the guy with the grave hands coming at you, or the
I've only seen
the
them.
shaken corpse when you come near. And it's like, I got your soul. Those ones.
I've only seen them on those YouTube videos that the girls watch.
What do you mean? Like the ones when you walk near, it's like, how are ya? You're gonna get croaked.
Yeah, we haven't seen those.
You haven't seen those?
No one around here has those, no.
You go to get them at Canadian Tire, they have them.
What do they want for that?
I don't know, like $89 for one of those things that shake when you go near it.
My friend Bette McDonald
Sometimes
sent me a text
50.
message yesterday and said she was listening to a show on the radio, out here, of course, and the theme was, what do you like for snacks? Call-in show. What do you like for snacks?
That's almost as good as how windy is it.
I know.
What can you, if you were to design a animatronic thing, what would you have for the line to be scary?
I would have a guy dressed as a dad, and when you stood close to him, he would say, "Bacon gotcha."
Oh, no.
Yeah, spooky Maple Leaf commercial.
And there would be like his hands would be in his pocket, and you could see his hand moving out when he says it from his pocket.
And he'd bring like he'd hold up a piece of bacon. Bacon gotcha. What would yours be?
I think I think it would just be like some creepy big guy with no clothes on and like swimming trunks. And he comes out and he's like, "Wanna go swimming?"
That's so creepy.
Yeah. All sweaty.
I didn't see any animatronic things here. We left an honesty bucket on the porch, as we always do. We get one kid. I could name her. She comes every year. There's no one else that comes.
Did she dump the bucket into her bag?
No. Takes one thing.
Wow.
Yep. Takes one thing.
I went to one place that had the bucket near our house, and it was all gone when we got there. Some punks must have dumped it in their bags. Bastards.
One parent that we know had 450 kids. Like, there was a lineup at her house.
What the hell? What do you mean? Where?
She lives in the bomb neighborhood, so everyone's like, well, they must have a lot of money, so you probably get full-size cans of pop and everything.
Full-size cans of
pop.
Full-size cans of Big 8.
Trick or treats.
They got Big 8s in there.
Oh, yeah. You get a 6-pack of Big 8s.
Cream soda Big 8s.
Jeremy Taggart, in mere days from now, we're headed to the west coast of Canada.
Are you excited?
I am really excited. I'm excited that we have a bunch of snapbacks. We have a bunch of toques with the Taggart and Torrens logo on it. We have hoodies and T-shirts, and they're going to be booksellers at every show, and we'll sign every book that folks buy. And really, maybe the most exciting part is we've never been to Vancouver before. We didn't know what that notoriously tough market would yield. Yeah. But we have good advanced sales in Vancouver, big time.
It's gonna be awesome. This next run is gonna be tons of people that are gonna be fired up, and it'll be nice to be in Vancouver for the first time. And the fact that it's doing so well will be even better.
Yes,
good times.
So
we'll have some special guests and some surprises all along the way.
Yeah,
and it should be a good time, I believe.
Me too. I'm really excited to get to Vancouver. I'm really excited to get to Victoria. We have a thing at Boland's Books on the 16th. Mm-hmm. And then we also have a thing in 17th is Vancouver, 18th is Calgary. The 19th is Red Deer.
At 2 o'clock, I believe, or
it's an afternoon deal. Yeah, we're going to sign some books and meet some folks. I believe at Chapters in Red Deer.
Yes.
Which is really exciting too.
Mm-hmm. We're going to be ripping across from the West Coast right to Winnipeg.
I know, it's really fun.
We can't wait.
Especially because we've done Ontario and the East Coast since we've been out west. Mm-hmm. And to be able to go all the way to BC this time is a real coup for us.
And then we get to go out east in December to do some more book signings out there. Why don't you tell the bods about that then?
Oh, yeah. So December 8th, Dartmouth Chapters by Micmac Mall, 7 to 9. December 9th is a Saturday. We're doing 10 to 11 at Coles in Truro, 2 to 4 at Chapters in Moncton, 7 to 9 at Chapters in Fredericton. And then Sunday, December 10th, we're doing 2 to 4 at Indigo in Charlottetown.
How about that? Come on out, buds, and make a scene of it.
No kidding. So the only place that we haven't gotten to, territories, and by the end of it, Newfoundland and the territories. Newfoundland, Labrador, and the territories.
Yeah, and you know what? We'll have some snapbacks and some merch, too, with us on those little rips.
Well, that's an important thing. So maybe parking lot styles.
Yeah.
We'll,
Well, we have our square, our legitimate square, where you can swipe your credit cards and good times and make it easy.
Where's the square?
Where's the square? They got to get the debit on the square. How come they don't do that yet?
Bring cash, as greasy as that sounds.
Yeah.
And the reason we're saying it is because people have been asking. We want to get stuff for Christmas for people. We want to get merch. Are you going to have merch? Are you going to have books? The answer is yes to all of those things.
And, the new toques are wicked.
New toques are wicked.
We have the snapback logo on toques for the new winter season.
Yep, and they're foldovers and they fit really nicely, and we're excited.
And to top off all the good times, we're about to rip into some holiday season.
Is it snowing in British Columbia?
I don't think so, but I know it's minus 20 in Calgary right now.
What the clam?
I know.
But at the same time, it is mid-November.
I know. Hey, before we wrap up this first segment, we also have to mention we're doing it's online, but it's the ongoing Bod of the Week campaign where you nominate bods in your neighborhood, people that you know that are doing great things. And if you nominate them, we'll pick that person, hopefully, and they'll get a jersey and some swag, and they're celebrated and profiled every Wednesday. So it's something we wanted to mention last week, but it's something that we started, and it's going to keep on going.
Well, and I know back in the early days, we did it, just you and I talking about who we thought deserved Bot of the Week recognition, and we outlined some really good ones. But I think the exciting thing about this is, in typical Canadianity fashion, you get to tell us about people in your life who are doing stuff that is kind or generous or selfless or any of those acts. Maybe it's nothing big, maybe it's something small, but tell us about who in your life deserves to be Bot of the Week, and we look forward to celebrating them. And we'll tee them up with some TNT swag.
And all of those, this is kind of the first thing that we're doing, I guess, just social media-wise. It's going to be living on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and that's how this will go on every week and guaranteed every Wednesday. And very soon, we will be every Monday regimented like soldiers.
Back on the Monday drops.
Although we try so hard, we're going to be doing it on the reg.
You're not kidding.
Let's take a break, Bot.
Let's take a break, Bot. I'm exhausted.
Cocktail, please.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going, Gord?
It's going well, Bernie. I want to thank you sincerely for coming to Home Sense with me.
Why are we at this place anyway?
Well, 'cause I need to find an ottoman for my pool room.
An ottoman also for the snooker table?
Well, sorry, it's my pool room where my pool table is beside the swimming pool.
Oh, the swimming pool.
Well, yeah, not to be confused with my pool room or my pool room. It's my pool room.
I get it. Well, whatever. Let's just
So it needs to be
here.
waterproof, like I'm thinking maybe PVC. Wait a sec.
Hey, what about this pillows over here? I could always use some
Stop
pillows.
talking, Bernie. What's the song that's playing on the music?
No, who cares? Look at this pillow. It says,
I care. It's like a dog whistle.
sorry. Jeez, take it easy, Gord.
I need to sit down here on this white shag chair.
Take a look at this. Take a look at this pillow here.
I can't listen to this musical barf. Excuse me, are you the manager?
Yes?
Can you please turn this song off at once?
I'm sorry, Mr. Lightfoot. Sure,
I have a physical reaction to it because, as you may have read on the internet service, Whitney Houston jacked my chorus to If You Could Read My Mind.
Take it easy, Gord.
You know what? It's not happening fast enough. Let's get an ottoman at the Brick or the Don't Pay a Cent event at Leon's.
Okay, Gord. Finally, we're at Canada's Wonderland. I don't know why you want to come here.
I want to go on the Go-Gator because I want to ride a roller coaster that gives me a thrill.
The coaster?
But not one that's so fast that it blows my hair off.
We can go on the towering one or the dragon fire. That's pretty crazy.
I don't think it's necessary. Let's go on this Go-Gator. It looks like an alligator, but it's a roller coaster.
This is for kids, Gord.
Well, I'm a child at heart.
I don't understand why you want to go on this. I can barely get in this thing.
Well, you can just watch me and wave every time it goes around.
Well,
wait a sec.
Locking it in here.
Wait a sec. What is that song? Since when did they start piping music in to Canada's Wonderland? You know what? I've lost my dignity for some decades now when I decided not to sue Whitney Houston out of respect for her career, seeing as she didn't write the song in the first place. Come on, Bernie, let's get out of here.
Okay, Gord.
Hey, Bernie. Thanks for coming to see Daddy's Home 2 with me. I'm surprised there's no one else here yet.
Why are we here 40 minutes early?
Because I thought parking might be more of a problem. But I'm really excited to see this movie because it has the funny actor in it.
Oh, Will Ferrell?
No,
He's hilarious.
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
He's hilarious. Do you remember him in the underwear ads? So funny.
I don't think that was supposed to be funny, Gord.
What an all-star comedy cast in this movie. Mel Gibson's in it, too.
Mel Gibson's in this one.
Remember how funny he was in Passion of the Christ?
Okay, Gord, here, make sure, give me some of that candy. Quit hogging all that candy, would you?
What, you want my mic in a... Wait a sec.
Just give me some of that pork. Give me your popcorn.
Since when do they pipe music into Cineplex before the movies start?
They always do. Gord, now give me those nibs.
Why I oughta... Get me out of here. Come on, Bernie. We can see Daddy's Home too on the internet. My boy Drizzy can tee me up with a day. He's got a day. My boy Drake's got a day. And I know he's gonna share it with me. If it's Daddy's Home too, you wanna say, my boy Drake's gonna share it with me. You started that. What do you mean Lightfoot sued Whitney Houston?
It was a total rip, right? If you could read my mind, it's the same melody, right?
Is it?
It is. Now we gotta do the ABs? Is that what's going on?
Well,
here? Huh?
How do I not know this?
Well, you should.
Okay, here it comes on the YouTube.
What?
It's probably going to be an ad.
The
Greatest Love
Lightfoot
of All
or
was
Whitney
1977?
That's the original writer, I think it was a reasonable hit, but not like Whitney Houston. This is the original.
Here it comes.
P. Bro Bryson laugh.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's the same, man. That's why it's so funny. He's losing it. It's like,
That's not George Benson like the George Benson, is it?
I don't think so.
George Benson.
Maybe it is, but do what was the last thing you did? He's all excited to see the movie.
Yeah. Thanks for coming to see Daddy's Home too with me. Couldn't find anyone else to come with me on this Saturday night.
He didn't even tell Drake because he'd make him less hip.
He can make me a do-they-do.
Oh, man.
I had no idea. How did I not know that?
Yeah. Yeah, man, he jacked it.
This is the thing, and this is not a pro-plagiarism argument.
And it's like 5 years later at that time, which is funny because it was a hit with Gordon Lightfoot. It's just interesting that Benson...
Here's the thing. Again, this is not a pro-plagiarism argument whatsoever. But in a 3-chord universe, do you think Sam Smith intended to rip off Won't Back Down?
I don't think so, but he'd be stupid not to realize that it's the same song.
Right.
And it's 12 notes is what they say in court. If it's that many, then that's when it's plagiary.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why all those, like, I think My Sweet Lord, George Harrison got pinched with, I think it was He's So Fine.
Yeah, for sure.
It's exactly the same, so he
lost
my
Lord.
in that.
He's
yeah, there's
so
a lot of songs
fine.
that Tom Petty did a couple times. A Chili Peppers song, and then there's like there was another song that said he was just tired of even bothering, didn't bother suing, but he was like very aware of it.
Well, I've mentioned this before. I heard in the James Taylor interview with Mark Maron, something in the way she moves. Right? That's in a James Taylor song. Something in the way she moves. And a George Harrison song.
Well, the George Harrison one's first.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's from the White Album.
Right.
68. Recorded in 67, maybe?
So do you think stealing something in the way she moves as a sentence is copyright infringement?
People do that all the time. I don't think you can't do that. Like, care about that. It's happened so many times. I'm sure, you can sue anybody for anything. But I don't know if you'd win with something that crazy.
Like, bands like the Beatles and the Stones and the Beach Boys were overt about being inspired by each other. Were you guys?
Well, yeah, sure. You always listen
like, vertently
to stuff.
or inadvertently?
Yeah, listening to records and trying to emulate certain parts or feels or sounds, for sure.
Were they contemporaries or back in the dayers?
When you listen to, like when I hear Zeppelin albums or Beatles records or Booker T and the MG's albums, like you can hear the room types and the mics, and you can sense how it's being recorded, and you kind of seek that out, and it's very difficult nowadays to try and emulate that same sound, because they're all in one room with a few mics back in the day, as opposed to now everything being tracked by itself, and if at all having drums, or it's not synthetic instruments. So yeah.
I spent a couple hours with Joel Plaskett yesterday because I was shooting this thing for the East Coast Music Awards. What a bud, first of all. You and I saw him at Fred Rock.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Just a super nice guy. But I was asking him, and I thought this was so interesting. I was asking him, because he has guitars everywhere, if he has the one. Like, do you have one guitar that you're like, that's my ride or die? And he told this great story about this guitar in the Folklore Center in Halifax in like 2004. And he'd go visit it every day just to play it. And it was $3,000. And he was like, man, I don't have that kind of money for a guitar. So he was just at the point where he was like, I wanted to sell. I can't keep going in there to play it and not buy it. I can't buy it. I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. And he got a call from the bank, say it was Royal Bank. And they said, do you have a mortgage with us? He was like, well, I have a mortgage, but it's with a different bank. And they said, so you don't have a house in Calgary? He was like, no. And they said, oh, well, because of a clerical error, we've been taking $300 a month out of your account over the last year. So we're going to pay you back with interest. And it was $3,600.
No.
Just enough to buy this guitar at the Folklore Center.
Get out of here.
So it's from the 1800s, and it belonged to, the gentleman's name escapes me, but he was Rita McNeil's guitar player. And wow. I felt like nervous even holding it.
No kidding.
But
I bet you he doesn't take that on the road either.
Well, he does. He doesn't take it to the States anymore because I think it has ivory tuning pegs. Mm-hmm. But isn't that an interesting question to ask musicians? Because I bet Eddie Van Halen has the one. Or do you think at this point he has 8 of the same ones? The one was a collection of parts that he built himself, right? So was that the one
he always
we all
builds
know
his
from
own
Jump?
Guitars, and I think now he uses like I don't know if it was a PV for a long time, but then he went to like whatever company he's with. He just builds it, and
they will come.
I'm sure. Yeah, he still has the original taped up one that he built from 3 different guitars, or something like that. But yeah, he's. I'm sure he does. I don't. I just have one kit because I love the Craviotto kit so much that's why it's my favorite. I still have all my old stuff, but it doesn't really have the same value.
Yeah, but when you were on the road, you'd had a couple of different kits in rotation, right?
Yeah.
They weren't. Were they Craviolos?
No, I only had the one Craviotto kit.
Craviotto.
I had like 4 AOT kits, so I had a B rig of sizes and stuff. But in terms of that kit, it's just because it's a special kit. But honestly, it means a lot to me now that John Craviotto passed away. So I'd be really upset if something were to happen to it too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Drums are difficult to steal on the road if they're put in the proper place. As you and I know, I mean, it gets risky when you're parking a car somewhere overnight. That's when you're
in a city on the sidewalk. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
So I really enjoyed my time with him. Total bud, and as you know, he has a coffee shop called New Scotland Yard, and in behind is a recording studio, and it's quite a happening spot. There's a lot going on there. It's a record store. You can buy vinyl there.
Right on.
They have merch and stuff. But he is a total, I don't know what you'd call it, tech head. Like all the reel-to-reel tape gear and,
Great equipment, probably mics and cool stuff.
Yeah, he's really
vintage.
into sound. And we just had a great chat and shot a really funny video for the East Coast Music Awards. So that was fun because you don't get to often spend a couple hours with somebody. And for me, because I'm not a professional musician, all this stuff like us going on the road, it's all new for me. So I don't know what the right case is to use. Like, should you take a soft case and try to carry your guitar on? Should you put it in a hard case and just check it and hope? All these questions I don't know the answers
always.
to. Huh?
You can always ask your old bud Jer for that, and I would say always go for a hard case. But you've been able to carry yours on everywhere, right?
They don't like it.
But you've been doing it?
Well, I think United Breaks Guitars was a game changer for everyone. But, I mean, this was the question I had for Joel, because it's different with acoustic and electric guitars, too. But if I was going to carry an acoustic guitar on the plane, I'd probably have a better chance of getting it on the plane in a soft case.
Yes,
but
for sure.
I don't want them to say you can't bring it on here, and suddenly it's in a soft case getting fired in the luggage bin.
Yeah, I think you can carry it on for those reasons, always, but they'll try and tell you that you can't.
Right.
So, yeah, the only way to safeguard it is to go for the flight case.
Well, so that's what I did. I bought a flight case.
Yeah.
And Joel said what Air Canada will allow you to do now is at least carry it to the gate, and they'll gate check it so that they set it on top of the luggage and they deliver it back to you at the ramp.
Yeah, that's better for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't get thrown around behind closed doors.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Yeah.
You look out and see it getting thrown on top of a luggage pile.
You see a guy, big Chris Farley guy, doing one of those wrestling moves with the elbow onto a box.
It is interesting for us logistically, probably for both of us, because you've always had maybe someone else kind of tour managing and organizing all this stuff. But for us to be doing it ourselves, like where do we send the merch? How much merch do we send to different places? Because we don't want to schlep it all. So you came up with the genius idea of slow boating merch to a few different places. So we pick up small amounts in different places, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But driving versus flying and renting cars versus planes, all that stuff, it's all a bit of a puzzle piece.
Yeah, I mean, once we get until we get some kind of a bod bus, then the flying is always better than the 8-hour drives. Because then you have more time to work on stuff.
But you can also see where you get to the point where it's like, honestly, rather than going to the airport, I would rather just not have to check bags and wait by a thing. I'm just going to shove it in and drive.
Yeah, or the one thing we could do is we could hire a bod driver and take one of your rigs.
Yep, we could.
Then just roll.
Well, that would be pretty rad.
Wouldn't that be rad?
But we're getting resumes sent right now to our inbox.
Yeah, that's right. For legit.
I'll drive you spots.
Licensed drivers.
Yeah.
That will drive us for the next bod run.
Oh my gosh.
On the bodmobile.
Which, by the way, if we were doing the East Coast or even Ontario, no problem, but it's quite a rip to drive it to the West Coast.
Well, unless you're playing your way across. That's the only way. Like if you're doing shows with, every 6-7 hours, then it's doable.
Well, that's why my dream is to do the great big barbecues.
Yeah.
It's a summer festival from coast to coast, and we take our families, and we each have buses, and we just make it a thing.
It's a fam jam.
Yeah.
The full-on bodmobiles.
Has anyone called a tour the Fam Jam?
I don't know. They
like
should.
Sharon, Lois, and Bram Jam?
I bet you it's somewhere. There's some kid who threw it out there and is making nothing.
Like you can get your face painted, or you can get a bod toque.
Yeah.
You can sing some karaoke.
You can get a snake painted on your face when you're seeing snakes.
That's actually great.
Wouldn't that be the move? It's like, the seeing snakes tent. You get the snake painted on your face.
Can you imagine if at a certain point you had to have a snake painted on your face so people knew you were seeing snakes?
Yeah. And your buds, they all wear snakes on their faces, so you're all really seeing snakes while you're seeing your buds.
Oh my gosh.
So it's legit snakes.
We're going to see some people seeing snakes on the West Coast, that's for sure.
People will be seeing snakes.
We've noticed a big difference in shows that start at 8 versus shows that start at 9.
You know what? We would much prefer everybody to be seeing snakes after the show as opposed to before, during the show.
But you see how it happens, because if the show starts at 9, you're like, guys, let's meet after work. We'll have some dinner. We'll have a few drinks.
Yeah, and it's sneaky drinks. Next
Doors
thing you
open
know,
at
you're
8.
saying, my wife.
Couple more drinks. Yeah, next thing you know, you're the guy yelling, my wife. Which apparently might have been a reference to something Jay and Dan have been doing lately.
Well, I think Dan throws that out there.
My wife.
But he does it like those guys can do it in a way where it's like, yeah, of course he's doing it. He's doing it because it's so stale. And it's great for that reason.
Well, I guess we need the benefit of the doubt, the bud that was saying my wife at the Ottawa show.
Well, for sure.
Retroactively, we're sorry if you were doing it ironically.
I bet you one thing would never happen was Dan O'Toole wouldn't yell that out at a show.
I don't know. Maybe he would.
No, he'd have to be pretty loose. Maybe really banged up, yeah.
He'd have to have a snake tattoo on his face.
He'd be having.
By the way, we've been talking about when you need a do-over in something, calling it a Terry David Mulligan.
Yeah, I like that one.
I need a Terry David Mulligan on last night because I was that guy. But then we were talking about TDM being a total D move. Right? That was a TDM. This guy parked behind me. I couldn't even get my car out.
Okay, hold on. Let's play TDM when we get back in the next segment here.
Sounds good, bodily bod.
Let me ask you this right quick, you know what I mean?
Hello.
Jeff Martin, quick word. It's Terry David Mulligan here.
Hey, how are you? How are you, TDM?
I'm really good, thanks. Listen, so with the...
do you like my black eyeliner?
Oh, yeah, you do have some guy liner on there. Huh.
That's not what it's called.
So is it true you have over 1,000 candles in your house and fire sticks and stuff?
I do. I like to be creative at all times.
Sorry, Jeff, there's Alana Miles. Going to grab a quick soundbite from her. Alana, over here, Terry David Mulligan's TDM.
Total D-bag move. TDM.
It's like a Canadian heritage moment. Like great moments in TDM.
Yeah.
Speaking of TDM, which is a mulligan, which is something we want to do over, we decided we're going to play Slanguage round 2 because Slanguage round 1 yielded so many good seeing snakes, green gown, fly rink, glad rags moments that I've found a different list than you.
Yeah, so we can play along.
We'll do the same thing. So you read a sentence with your slang in it, and I will do the same, and you have to guess if you can figure out what it is.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Slanguage round 2.
Hey, Reginald. Hey, Reginald. I had a hard day's work. I see you're having a smoke. Come on, butt me.
Butt me?
Yeah.
I wonder if butt me is the OG blank me. Remember on the TV show Ed with that Canadian guy Tom Cavanaugh? They would always say beer me. They had a beer me challenge. I'm gonna say butt me is smoke. Pass me a cigarette.
Yeah.
Butt me.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Hey man, sorry I'm late. Some total church bell stopped me on the street.
Church bell. Like a priest?
Talkative woman.
A talkative...
Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong.
Oh, man.
I bumped into some church bell on the street and I couldn't get away.
Say, Lucinda. Are we had a good time tonight. Cash or check?
Cash or check?
Yeah.
It must mean some version of, like, is it on or isn't it? But I don't understand it.
Do you kiss now or later?
Oh, wow.
Cash or check?
I love cash or check.
Yeah, hey, baby. Cash or check?
Because I'm open for business.
That's something the Crunch guy would say. Like, is it part of the experience with the escort? Hey, baby, cash or check? You kiss? I like to kiss on my dates. I took a mint. I promise. Crunch.
Okay, here's a good crunch guy one, too. You ready?
Okay.
I don't understand why you're blowing me off. It's like you think I'm some kind of flapdoodle.
Flapdoodle. I would assume that's something to do with like a useless job.
Close.
What?
A sexually incompetent man.
Oh man.
Who's either too young to do it.
That's great. That makes total sense.
Too young to do it or too old to try it.
Wow.
By the way, flapdoodle also referred to nonsense or rubbish, and flapdoodle referred to lady parts in the 1800s. It's our fourth date. I saw Aunt Sarah's flapdoodle.
How about this one? You ready?
Yeah.
That Harvey, he's going golfing again. He's a real butter and egg man, that guy.
Oh, English used to be so cool. I guess people had more time to stand around and use colorful language like, what is it, egg and what?
Butter and egg
He's
man.
a real butter and egg man, that guy. Let me tell you something about Horace. He's a real butter and egg guy. What does that even mean?
It means the man with the money. The man with the money.
He's a butter and egg man, that guy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. He didn't come from much, but he's a butter and egg man, that guy.
Pretty good.
Okay, do you know Marty, the gib face that works down in the shop?
Oh, yeah.
Gib face.
The gib face.
You know Marty, that gib face who goes out with your cousin, Melissa?
Oh, man. The gib face?
By the way, here's a hint. Jay Leno, and this is from this article, Jay Leno is a total gib face.
Like a massive chin?
Yes.
That's classic.
Gib face.
Hey.
He's a real butter and egg man.
I like that. What? I want to get the phrase proper. Hey, Greg, Lois from my office.
Yeah, Lois, sure.
She seems like a real nice lady, but I'm kind of afraid to ask her out because she's a real mirror warmer.
A mirror warmer?
Yeah.
A mirror? Well, I guess she's hot.
Yeah, but she spends a lot of time looking in the mirror.
Oh, wow.
I guess that's the old
warmer.
school version of high maintenance.
Love it.
Hey?
Hey, do you remember Sharon? That we grew up with? Sharon?
Sharon? Yeah, I remember Sharon.
You know what I heard she's doing these days?
What's that?
It's just a rumor, but I heard she's a hedge creeper.
A hedge creeper?
Yeah.
Holy.
In other words, a prostitute who works in the countryside.
Oh, man, that's greasy. Wow.
Hedge creeper.
Whoa.
See the hedge creeper over in the cul-de-sac? She just asked me if I wanted to party. That's the example from this article.
Hey, baby, you wanna go check out the submarine races?
That sounds like an alt for, like, Inspiration Point.
Yeah, you
like want to make out?
An excuse for it's given for parking next to the water to make out.
Okay.
You want to check out the submarine races?
I like it.
Hey?
Dan is a hornswoggler.
Well, it sounds like a guy who steals stuff, takes greedy.
Fraud or cheat.
Oh, steal. There you go.
There you go.
I like that. Okay, how about, okay. So I went out to see this Kreskin guy the other night. You ever hear about this guy? What a fry.
Fry?
Yeah.
Well, my first thought is it means like a fraud. But I can't imagine why that would be called a fry.
A fry. Someone who blows your mind, like fries your brain.
Wow.
A fry.
Kreskin's a fry.
He's a fry, that guy.
Hey, you know where the entrance to the club is?
Where's that?
Right over there next to Malmsey Nose.
What the hell's Malmsey nose? Like massive?
A heavily acneed nose.
Oh, wow, okay.
The assumption here is that the acneed nose was the result of drinking too much Malmsey wine. You get Malmsey nose after 2 beers, you should see a dermatologist.
Hey guys, come on! What's going on? Is everything Jake out here?
Everything what?
Is everything Jake out here?
Jake?
Yeah.
Does that mean cool?
Yeah.
Does it say what the origin of that is?
It means all right. Just says, is everything Jake out here? Meaning, is everything all right? Breaking up a fight out front.
Okay, hit me with, guys, I don't know if I want to come into this club.
Hey, guys, I don't know if I want to come into this club here.
What are you, some kind of meter? Meater.
Oh, meter. What does that mean? Like, it's just a wimp?
Coward.
A coward, yeah. Oh, man. A meter. That's pretty good.
I got a couple good ones.
How about, I don't know, I'm thinking of maybe becoming a hawkshaw, you know what I mean? I like being on my own. How about I become a hawkshaw?
How do you spell it?
HAWKSHAW. Hawksaw. A hawksaw.
No
That's
idea.
what I want to be.
No idea.
A detective.
No way.
Yeah.
It's like a gumshoe.
Yeah. That's a good one.
So then this mumbling cove tells me he's raising my rent 25%.
Mumbling Cove?
Yeah.
Wow, what is that? Just like a
shabby person or deceitful landlord.
That's a good one. Okay, the last one I got is, man, I gotta stay on I can't do that, what you're trying to get me to do. I don't want to end up in the Hoosgow.
Hoosgow? Is that jail?
Yeah. Prison. The
Yeah,
Hoosgow.
I don't know, Lenny. I don't want to end up in the Hoosgow.
Yeah. Oh, my buddy got a shiv in the Hoosgow last month. I'm not going in there.
Okay, I'm going to do this one as Sith Fisher.
Oh, I love him.
You ready?
Yep.
I was driving down the road, and suddenly I got intercepted by a mutton shunter.
A mutton shunter. What is that? Some kind of animal? Person? Meat greasiness?
Way to work it out.
Yeah. What is
Policeman.
it? A policeman. Oh.
Yep. Especially one tasked with harrying street prostitutes. A lot of these 1800s terms have to do with ladies of the evening.
I don't know. That she sure looks pretty, but I tell you what, she's a moll. Be careful.
Moll?
Yeah. MOLL.
No idea.
A gangster's girl.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, what I heard is that she's a wagtail.
Oh no. Fired up?
Promiscuous woman or prostitute. Less commonly, a dissolute man. That dude who hangs around the hotel late at night is a wagtail. I know that's a less common use, but that's what he is, Diane.
Come on, Barry. Get a wiggle on. We gotta go.
It's so hard to sound cool with a word like wiggle.
Get a wiggle on.
Get a wiggle on, let's go.
You won't believe it's gonna blow your wig.
Freak you out.
Yeah.
I think I've told you this before. My mother-in-law's uncle, Bill, would often say, "Come on, Barbie, let's get up and rearrange our shorts." That was asking to dance.
How about this one? Don't worry, it's gonna be like eggs and coffee.
Smooth?
To run smoothly.
Oh my gosh. Is that a reference to fecal matter?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Must be some kind of fancy coffee.
Get this whooper up off the stage.
Whooper?
Whooper up.
I don't know. Whooper up. A crazy person?
Second-rate singer.
Second rate.
What's wrong with you, Casey? Are you pigeon-livered?
That's it. The last one I got is this one. I don't know. I just want to make sure I do everything I can before the kiss-off.
Aww. Before it's all over?
Yeah.
Man language was so much more colorful. Foozler, a bungler, or one who does things clumsily.
How about this one?
Jollocks,
I
a
tell
heavy
you what,
person.
that guy's a ducky shin cracker over there.
What is that?
A good dancer.
A ducky shin cracker?
Yeah,
I like ducky as an adjective.
it is.
How
yeah.
you
Well,
doing? Just ducky.
Yeah, ducky was a good one. That was huge.
Also on this list, rat bag, a general term of abuse. Sheena's a rat bag. Also,
Raspberry.
vazy, V-A-Z-E-Y, meaning stupid. Stop being vazy and call a cab, Brent.
Zazy. Man, that's a tough one to say. I can just hear that.
Vazy.
Hey, quit being so zazy.
Words that are tough to say include the plural of breakfast. Say it.
Breakfasts?
Yeah.
That's hard to say.
Well, because it takes like 17 seconds. Breakfasts.
Or Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. I always thought it was Massachusetts.
Really? When you
Yeah.
were a kid?
I had some weird. I think it's PEI. I thought it was volleyball.
Yeah.
I thought it was do not disturb, and I thought it was Massachusetts. Like till I was probably in my 30s,
Yeah.
and I was
Get
working
outta
with a
here.
woman from Massachusetts who was like, "Massa what?"
Or Worcester instead of Worcester.
Well, Massachusetts has some weird ones.
Yeah. I'm in Worcester. What are you talking about?
I'm in
I
Worcester,
said I'm in
Mass.
Worcester.
My girls just walked through the door.
The girls are home.
The birthday party is in full effect.
Well, that should be the signifying end, even though to get the party going.
2 birthday parties this weekend. Shug's tonight with her whole class, and then Indy's pool party on Sunday.
That sounds like a great time.
It's birthday-orama, bud.
Well, you have a great time, and we'll talk to you next week, Jonathan.
Skoolilabop!
Bidip.
Boom gang gang go get ding gang, jubon bounce, boom do that, boom bam bam, tika doom down.